So it's no secret now that Ubisoft has decided to shift from innovating on the open world genre and pushing the gaming industry in an exciting new direction with their game design into just following whatever gaming trend has been going on for the past few years. Origins, Valhalla, and Odyssey were games that kind of leached off of The Witcher 3 and the success that that game had, and we've just had some recent leaks that suggest that Assassin's Creed Red, the new game developed by Ubisoft Quebec that's going to be set in feudal Japan, is going to mimic Elden Ring's style and game philosophy. And I wanted to talk about this because I think it represents a lot of negative things for the game and a lot of negative things for the franchise, but also a lot of positive things that I think are worth talking about in a world where we're not going to get exactly what we want. So first of all, the negatives are quite obvious, and it's something that the community has been talking about for basically years now, which is that Ubisoft really did used to be a pioneer in the gaming industry, especially in open world design. When you see games like Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 2, they kind of defined what the open world genre was for many years. And even in 2013, when they were releasing Watch Dogs, AC Unity, and all these ambitious games that ended up flopping, they had ambition. Ubisoft really was pushing the envelope on what could be done with technology, with storytelling, with graphics, with gaming as a whole. And even though it did flop, I kind of respect much more what they were trying to do back then than what they're doing now. All these endless sprawling games that feel empty and feel vacuous and just feel like rip-offs of other better games, it's much less deserving of my respect than Ubisoft trying to do something and failing. Of course, they failed because corporate was completely selfish and didn't give developers enough time to push out amazing products in the form of Assassin's Creed Unity and Watch Dogs, but you can see that their ambition is right there, and it's so palpable and so respectable. And it's a shame to see that that company that once really bled for these games and wanting to redefine the gaming industry and redefine the open world game experience has now just decided to look at what's working from other better companies and doing exactly the same, probably a little bit worse. That's a negative, and it's a shame that we're seeing that this is continuing into the new era of Assassin's Creed gaming. Assassin's Creed Red is going to be the first game that's exclusively available for PlayStation 5 and therefore the first truly next-gen AC, and to see that they're not abandoning the copy-paste formula from other games that they've been using during the PS4 era is kind of heartbreaking. It's bad because it's showing that Ubisoft seems to think that it's working to just copy the current trends, and it means that Assassin's Creed is probably never going to be the pioneer of the gaming industry that it used to be. However, there is a bright side to this that I wanted to talk about, and again, it's kind of like the lesser of two evils. I still wanted to discuss it because it's a thought that I had many months ago before any of this news was released, that I kind of get excited about now that it's not confirmed but leaked with substantial evidence. What I'm talking about is the idea of copying Elden Ring's game philosophy for an Assassin's Creed game. For those who don't know, Elden Ring was a game that came out quite a while ago now from the company From Software, which kind of blew gamers' expectations out of the water with how tight the game was, how good it was, and how innovative the game design was. What most people praised it for was not only obviously the difficulty in the game design, the character design and everything, but just the open-ended nature of it that people fell in love with. You're essentially just plucked into a world that feels like it's alive, like it was alive before you and is going to be alive after you. They give you this overall large objective that you have to complete to finish the game. However, you can choose exactly how to go about completing that objective. They give you complete freedom on where to go. None of the map is off bounds, and everything you want to do, you can do. Obviously, you're going to be under-leveled, and the whole point of the game is finding ways to level up so you're strong enough to defeat harder and harder bosses and progress through the story, but you have complete freedom on how you do that. And I imagined an Assassin's Creed game with this exact philosophy, and how amazing it would be if they just gave us an assassin character and told us, okay, here's the main target in this really high-walled, highly guarded city that you have to kill. You're currently not leveled enough, not strong enough to kill this target, but if you travel through the map, meet different people, kill different targets, and work for the Assassin Brotherhood, you can eventually be strong enough to defeat this large target. That sounds like an awesome premise for an Assassin's Creed game. Think about the best moments you've had in Assassin's Creed in recent years, and how they all usually revolve around freedom of choice. Everyone always references AC Unity's black box missions. Think of what you loved about those missions. The open-ended nature of figuring out how to get to your target and how to kill him is what makes you fall in love with that game and being able to replay it over and over again. So imagine that we have that not only in specific assassination missions, but in the game as a whole, where you have complete freedom on what you do and where you go and how you complete these missions. That sounds like an exciting premise for an Assassin's Creed game, and I'm really interested to see how they pull it off, because if they really do mimic Elden Ring style, I wouldn't be that mad that they're still copying everything. I'm kind of over the Witcher 3 clones. I was over them after Origins, to be honest. I think that some of it works for Assassin's Creed, but most of it doesn't. But as a game philosophy of the open-ended nature of just throwing the character into the world and making you figure it out is a wonderful choice to make for Assassin's Creed, and I think it works much better than The Witcher 3. So in light of this news that we have, that they're thinking of copying Elden Ring, yes, it proves that Ubisoft again is stagnant and creatively bankrupt. It shows that they are at least making the right critical choices of who to copy, which is better news for us as the players. So I don't know, let me know what you think. It's something that I've always fantasized about, and I really do want a truly open-ended Assassin's Creed game. That's kind of like at the top of my list of what I want. And it's also something that can perpetuate this idea of the lonely assassin, this assassin's fantasy of a character that's alone in this world and has nothing but himself or herself. And I have an entire video that delves into how lonely it must be to be an assassin, which you can watch right now.